everybody, and welcome to the final instalment of the 2025 Mystery Cushion Club. We are there. We are at the end now of our 5-month project with the final instalment, the October instalment, plus the reveal of the cushion title. So as you all know, this is the final cushion in my mystery cushion collection. I've been running the mystery cushion for 15 years and in order for me to be able to move on and do something different, something had to give. So the cushion, the blanket, and about every other year, a baby blanket club meant that there was no room for anything else. So next year I will be launching a new club. More details on that will be emailed to you at the beginning of the new year. But today is all about the final instalment of the mystery cushion. And I'm so excited to show you the cushion, to share the final instalment with you, and of course to reveal the title. So let's begin then with the title of the cushion. And for those of you that didn't guess it was a bit of a tricky one this year. So I didn't get that many correct answers. But the title of the 2025 mystery cushion is Gridlock. There are always so many stories in the pattern and fashion trends, and basically what I do is I look at all the different stories that are out there, all the predictions, and I choose the one that I feel would work best, would translate best into hand knitting. So there's lots of very, very exciting themes which I would love to be inspired by. It be used as my inspiration for the design, but sometimes things just don't translate into knitting that well. There's always loads of floral stories and sometimes sort of watercolour florals, which are very, very difficult to actually do in hand knitting. So for this final cushion, I've gone for a theme which is really out there, really colourful, a little bit crazy, a little bit chaotic, but when I went for a story called Gridlock, which really was all about stripes and lines crossing each other in grids. And I really love stripe patterns. You may have noticed, particularly if you've knitted other projects of mine, that I really love a good stripe pattern. So as soon as I saw this theme, I thought this is the one I want to do. And I'm going to really try and explore stripes and colour. And what's really important about this theme, more than anything, is that it's all about sort of juxtaposition of vertical and horizontal lines. And if you look at the cushion, here it is. Okay, I've tried to kind of juxtapose my kind of either my diagonals, my horizontals, and my vertical lines, more so visible in the back, where the lower back panel is the stripe here, and then for the striped upper back panel, you knit it that way up. So when it's sewn into place, you get that juxtaposition of the stripes. Okay, so the words, if you like, I was working with, I love language, I love words, and one of the things I do at the start of any design is I write a list of words connected, phrases, words connected with the theme. So for this theme then, the words that I was looking at and using as my inspiration were dotted lines, bold divides, simple lines, wonky lines, linear bandings, fine chevrons, and bold clashing palettes. So that is what I strove to kind of include in my cushion. That was always in my thinking, to make it bold, to make it bright, and the thinking behind these lines, these juxtapositioned lines within the whole of the project. The yarn selection for a project is always one of the things I think about right at the beginning of the project, and different fibres lend themselves better to different knitting techniques. So I spend quite a bit of time sampling up with different yarns before I commit to my final yarn and colour palette to see what kind of works best. And in this project, and in several of my other projects too, I've combined felted tweed with my own brand of light merino DK yarn. The two of them work so well together. And I also included a little bit of soft yak. I love Rowan soft yak. It's so squishy. It's a double knitting, but it squishes down and will knit finer. It will knit to a true double knitting as well. In this project, I knitted it quite tightly. And I also included that fantastic turquoise colour, the Tropic, in the pure Rowan Pure Alpaca. That was my kind of one of my favourite colours in the palette, actually. I just love that bright turquoise blue. But the combination of yarns was sort of perfect, really, for all the different stitch patterns that I wanted to include in this cushion. The dahlia, which I heard on the grapevine and on the social media post, a lot of people saying, when is the red, when is the dahlia going to be used? Well, I used it solely for these lovely fluffy pom-poms on the corners here. I've got one on each corner. They are optional, so if you really don't want to add pom-poms to your cushion, you don't have to. But I just thought, come on, let's throw everything at this. It's bold, it's colourful, it's bright. Let's go with some pom-poms as well. And the red of the pom-poms just picks up on the red beads that are in the front panel. Okay, so there's a bit of a connection there between the colours. To make the pom-poms, I used one of these. It's a Clover pom-pom maker. I think the size is, it says 45. I think there's a 33.5 centimetre, and this is a 4.5 centimetre one. Absolutely brilliant little gadget for making pom-poms. It makes the most perfect pom-poms. It's really fun to do. It's by Clover. You can buy them online. And there's also a really, really good video of how to make a Clover pom-pom on the internet, which I always go and have a look at before I make my pom-poms. I don't make that many. And when I do come to make them, I can never remember how to make them. So one of those is really, really useful if you want to include the pom-poms on your cushion. So looking at the cushion then, just looking at some of the squares, I really wanted that centre square in the middle to be very blingy. It is a grid, really, and it's fully loaded up with beads. There's beads on every single one of those 9 squares in that block, and I just really wanted that to be a real focus point for the front panel. It kind of interrupts the lines a little bit because you've got your zigzag lines on the left and you've got your horizontal dotted lines on your right, with this sort of in the centre. But I thought that was a bit of a kind of a statement for the centre of the cushion. And then in the 4 corners, you've got those crisscross squares in different colourways. I mean, that's another thing I love doing with colour. I love taking a pattern and recolouring it. And when you throw not only the colour of the yarn in, but the beads in as well, you can get some really, really interesting results. So they make up the 4 corners of the cushion, giving what is otherwise a bit of a random front panel a little bit of symmetry with those 4 corners all matching. Then you've got your 2 strips, long rectangular strips at the bottom and the top of the front panel, effervescent and vivacious. One thing I really enjoyed about actually making this cushion was not having my usual 9 square or rectangle format for the front panel. I quite enjoyed experimenting with those different sized panels. Gives it more of a patchwork feel, I think, a little bit more interesting to knit up as well. I hope you enjoyed knitting up the front panel as much as I really enjoyed designing it. So those of you that kept your mystery cushion tote bag hidden because you hadn't guessed the title, you can now get your tote bag out, free it from the plastic bag, and you can go and use this now. I was really pleased with this bag design. It's just, I love fonts, I love letters. As I said, I love words. So on it are listed all the mystery cushions right from 2011 right up to this present one, 2025. And that's the reason why it says gridlock there at the bottom. That is the reason why I said to you, oops, you need to keep this in the bag, hidden away, unopened, if you haven't already guessed the title. But now you can go out and use it. Hopefully you'll find it useful. So I want to finish by saying a huge thank you to every single member that's taken part in the club this year. It's been, as always, an absolute joy to hear from you, to share your stories, to see your cushions being knitted up and progressing. And very soon, after you've knitted your final panel and you've completed all the finishing, you will have your very own mystery cushion. If, like me though, you love a mystery and you really don't want your mystery adventures to stop, don't forget that if you haven't already signed up to my 2026 Mystery Blanket Club, there are still some memberships available. Our early bird offer has now expired, but if you do sign up after early bird, then you are still entitled to a 10% discount off all Debbie's kits, all my kits, in our online shop for a whole year. So that's a very good reason to sign up, as well as, of course, participating in a brand new, very exciting knitting adventure next year. We sell our memberships until the end of the year, December the 31st. But if we do sell out before then there are no more memberships. We are going for 500 members this year. We've got about 110 memberships still available. So in that first month, they've sold out very, very quickly. If you do want to jump on board, best advice is to pop across to our online shop straight after you've watched this and read the blog, of course, and then book yourself on next year's Mystery Blanket Adventure. And of course, as I mentioned as well, I will be launching a brand new club next year, but I'll send you details about that via an email in the sort of new year. Okay, so let's focus on getting the mystery cushion finished. Those of you that are knitting the mystery blanket as well, we're very close to the end of that project. We've just one more instalment to go, and then we can start the new year with brand new projects. So now it's time to grab your knitting needles and to make a start on the final panel so that you can complete your very fabulous, very bright, very bold and colourful mystery cushion. Have fun, everybody. Bye-bye.